And it was just a really tough time. Like, I'm 0-3 as a pro. The Muay Thai guy, and should I just quit while I'm behind? Like, what am I gonna do from here on out? And so it was a really tough period of my life where I had to figure out which direction I wanted to go, whether or not I wanted to continue pursuing the fight life and being the Muay Thai guy and everything. I got into fighting because it scared me, and because it was something that was just like bothering me to no end. I needed to figure out if A, I was capable of defending myself, and B, if I was capable of overcoming my fears. Every time I fought, I kept finding out so much about myself. It was literally like I was becoming a new version of myself every time I fought. And not just with fighting, but with like the training camps and everything that led up to it, the nutrition, the weight cutting, dealing with haters and social media and trash talk and all that kind of stuff. You really have to take a deep look inside yourself. And so, although at first, when I first started fighting, some of it was probably pretty superficial. I wanted to be cool, I wanted to be jacked and be a badass fighter. But as I continued on my path, especially being in the Muay Thai culture, I realized how much of a way of life it is and how it really just makes you a better person. Because of fighting, I've become more disciplined, I've been more consistent with my healthy habits, I've been more focused, I've been more aware. Fighting definitely humbles you as well, so I like to think I've been humbled plenty of times. And so ultimately, I fight because it just makes me a better version of myself. So after a pretty decent amateur career, I decided to turn pro, and I was really excited about it. I had a little chip on my shoulder. I'm the Muay Thai guy, right? I'm turning pro, so everyone paid attention to me. And I was fighting an opponent, Taran Hassanov, who my training partner, Chris, beat pretty handily. And so I probably took it pretty lightly. I was the headline. I definitely didn't train as hard as I could have, and that caused a little inkling of doubt in the back of my mind that was pretty prevalent leading up to the fight. Like, what if I get caught? What if I get knocked out? So on and so forth. And sure enough, the more you think about that, the more you kind of manifest it. And that's what happened. It was a first round TKO stoppage. I remember everything vividly. I kind of wish he knocked me out clean so I don't remember it. But the fact that he knocked me down in three knockdowns in a round, I remember each one in vivid detail. And just the disappointment in myself and knowing that I let myself down more than anybody. Like, people are always apologizing to their friends and family, but like, they really don't care. Like, they're happy that you're pursuing this and everything, but the fact that I let myself down in my training and my mental preparation, it was really hard to overcome. I was really doubting myself and my ability, and like, why am I even calling myself the Muay Thai guy? Like, who am I to be in this position after getting stopped in the first round of my pro debut? And so I was in a little bit of depression for a while, and there was like a last minute opportunity to fight on Lion Fight, to fight against Pedro Gonzalez. I was like, oh, that'd be cool to do, get on Lion Fight and fight Pedro. I think I could do well, but I was just not in the mood right now. And my now wife, Liz, she was on the other side of the room, and she goes, what the fuck is that? Like, I remember this so vividly. It was like the whole like Adrian and Rocky story, right? And she goes, I've never heard you that scared and that like hesitant to take a fight. You used to take fights on days' notice. You used to fight twice in a week. You used to do all this kind of stuff. And now because you lost one fight, you're just gonna throw in the towel and give up. And like that like hurt. Like, her telling me that like fucking hurt. And so it made me like take a step back and be like, shit, she's right. Like, I'm being like a little bitch right now, and like I'm running away from my fears, and the whole reason I got into fighting was to face my fears. And so sure enough, I signed up for the fight, and the fight went pretty well. I ended up getting knocked down in the first round, and I remember replaying my last fight all over again. I'm like, no, not again, right? But I picked myself back up, and I fought a good rest of the fight. I ended up losing a decision. It wasn't as bitter to swallow, but it still wasn't. Losing is still never fun, especially on a big promotion like Lion Fight. And so I was still very down and out about that. Fast forward to my next fight. I don't remember the timeline for it, but it was here at Kenshin in Thailand. And it was on my birthday too. It was a four-man tournament. And I trained really hard for it. And I remember when we were drawing opponents, there was 2 foreigners and a Thai. I was like, anyone but the Thai, right? Of course I draw the Thai. And I was like, all right, fair enough. Like, this will be a fun game. And if I get past the Thai, then I'll have confidence going into the finals. Unfortunately, I didn't get past the Thai. He just outclassed me. He had a better sense of distancing and range, and he was just a smarter fighter. He had a couple hundred fights. At the time, I had like 20 something. And so he was just a smarter, better fighter than me. So that, on my birthday, being in Thailand, away from my family and friends, the camp that I was hosting for the Muay Thai vacations ended, so no one was there. It was just me and my buddy Paul from Muay Thai Technician. And it was just a really tough time. Like, I'm 0-3 as a pro. The Muay Thai guy, and should I just quit while I'm behind? Like, what am I gonna do from here on out? And so it was a really tough period of my life where I had to figure out which direction I wanted to go, whether or not I wanted to continue pursuing the fight life and being the Muay Thai guy and everything. But fortunately, because I have such a good support system around me, of friends and family, they kind of pulled me out from it, and I pushed forward. After that, I was able to get back into a winning ways, and it felt so good, man. It was like, I ended up moving to Thailand because I decided, like, it's now or never. I'm getting older. I'm 32 now. When I made the move to Thailand, I just turned 30. And so I was like, all right, if I'm gonna do it, I gotta do it now. So I moved to Thailand, dedicated myself to the craft, and then I started racking up wins, started feeling a lot better about myself, and even the losses were like good fights that I wasn't disappointed about. And so it was just something that really stuck to me was hearing about some other professional fighters who had a rocky start. So I was really attached to that. I was like, I can be the hero to my own story. And so the fact that I was able to overcome that and now put together some wins and have a record with more wins than losses, I feel pretty proud of. And hopefully people can draw inspiration if they lose their first fight, lose their first 3 fights, that shit, even the Muay Thai guy loses his first 3 professional fights, and if he can come back from it, anybody can come back from it.